Right, on to the next phase then. Right, so after all that, Fett manages to get away off-screen, making the past few missions feel pretty pointless overall. Hard to really call those two missions padding, though, especially considering just how short this game is overall. Well, on the one hand, this mission is going to be pretty short. On the other hand, this mission absolutely killed my attempt to beat this game in the PC version of it. We have to chase after a bunch of hoverbikes on our own hoverbike, taking out the enemy by ramming against them in particular ways, and hoping not to slam into anything too hard as you do so. This gimmick is never repeated in this game ever again, and the only time I've ever seen anything remotely similar to this pulled ever again was in Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3. It was not a gimmick they wanted to repeat. If I was moving too fast, then that would have killed me. Hell, I'm pretty sure in the PC version, you're a hell of a lot more fragile, or you're not really all that able to control things, so it's even easier to make lethal mistakes. Maybe this would be better from a third-person view, or at least when we're trying to take down one of the other bikes. You'd be able to see your position relative to the other bike better from a different angle, but then the camera doesn't always move as fast as it should when you turn. And I'm bumping against pretty much everything around here already, when I supposedly have the best view possible. There are a lot of twists and turns, and it's made all the worse since I've got to drive next to the enemy to be able to bump them in just the right way to eventually force them to crash. Whereas here in the N64 version, it feels a lot tougher to end up getting killed, though not quite impossible, and when it does happen, you're left wondering, what did I do differently that made that more lethal than some of my other bumps? Well, you're about halfway through this little race, assuming you can actually call it a race. The way this is programmed, the next guy in line is always just that easy to reach. Though if you try to get at whoever is ahead of the absolute next guy, you end up making the entire group move faster, which is kind of funny that treating this like a genuine race would make sure you lose. But if you don't, then you can get the job done while still driving like an idiot, at least in this version. I gave up on the PC version sometime around my 23rd death, without managing to get a single one of the Swoop Gang members down. And I know that has nothing to do with how a control stick makes moving vehicles around easier than a mouse and keyboard. Seriously, I'm crashing against sand dunes here. In the PC version, I'd have been dead several times over, while in this version, I'm just getting embarrassed so far. And that does it. The last of the enemies in this mission is gone. All that's left is getting to the end of the line, which is not as reassuring as it probably should be. Because again, it's not the guys that we need to deal with in this mission that are the biggest challenge. It's the damn mechanics of this swoop bike, and how the game seems to expect you to be an absolute expert at it, despite never touching it before, and never getting to use it ever again. Just who the hell greenlit this insanity? You're either too responsive or not responsive enough. Well, I suppose it was only a matter of time before we got killed. I just wish I knew what the hell it was that killed me there, so I could know if that was bullshit or not. I mean, seriously, this may not be as unforgiving as a PC version, but dear God, when it does decide you've tested your luck too much, it'll take you down with all the warning of the deity from Final Destination. It's the only poorly designed mission in the game, and boy did they really screw the pooch here. And with that awkward struggle through that hole, we're done with this poorly thought out mess, and we'll never have to do it ever again.